We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. And Indeed doesn't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites, according to a recent Indeed survey. One of the things I love about Indeed is it makes hiring all in one place so easy and streamlined so I can spend more time on the rest of my business. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences. So the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Just go to Indeed.com/Blue Wire right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Hello and welcome back. This is Kirk Henderson, and we are on Mavs Party. I need to rebrand the show here in the thing. You can tell this is why I desperately need a producer. I am Kirk Henderson. This is Pod Mavericks Mavs Party. We're having a great time because the Dallas Mavericks just defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves in what is their marquee win of the season. For those of you who would like to join the show, if you're watching over the Twitter stream, send me a tweet or send me a DM, and I will send you the link directly to join the show. If you are in the YouTube stream, you can probably either click or cut and paste the show invite down there at the bottom. We'll talk a little Mavericks here. It's a little bit after 10:15. I'm probably going to keep this to about a half hour max just because I want to go to sleep. But I really wanted to celebrate this game. This is fun, and we should enjoy fun. I keep talking about it. All right, so coming up first, then we're going to have my man Leo, who I've not seen up here in a while. Leo, how you doing, buddy?
Hi, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay. Thank you for joining anyway, despite through the technical difficulties, which is annoying me. I cannot, why are hyperlinks not working? Anyway, I'll figure that out after the show. What's going on?
Oh, I just want to have two quick hitters. One, this is one of the most amazing wins we've had all year because any win without D Lively against the caliber of bigs we just faced is worth 5 wins because it shows the heart, determination, and the fact that our players were somewhat on assignment more than usual. Luka, Kyrie, and my second point is I thought this was a pretty good Josh Green game, even with like 5 points, but the 5 rebounds looked really nice. The was it a steal or a block?
You guys just want to come in here and talk Josh Green. Look, he had he had an amazing game against Portland the other night. Like he really, really did. So I gotta not hate on the man when he plays well. So,
but was it good defense or was this like a good defensive game for the Mavs or was it bad offense by the Wolves?
I mean, the Wolves aren't great at offense. So if you're forcing them into tougher shots, then it's a little bit of both. The Mavericks played hard defensively, which is something we can't always say.
Okay. And when do we sell Grant Williams? That would be all. Thank you.
Man, my wife saw him out and about last night. She was out to dinner with some friends in downtown Dallas and saw him at a sushi restaurant. And apparently people didn't recognize him until they did. And then people like bum rushed him, which I thought was a riot. All right, Leo, thanks so much. We'll talk soon. All right, coming up next is Brian, though I saw a couple other people join and then leave. So feel free to join down here. Use that link. I will continuously kind of share it in the chat tonight. And we can, you can figure out how to join. You can either cut and paste it from the chat or, I will send you a link directly via Twitter because I monitor my notifications and things like that during the show. Brian, what's going on, man?
Nothing, man. Just glad for another win. How you doing?
I'm okay. I've had this GIF up of Cat after he had that and one and was making the weird face. I've had that up in my computer the whole time. Like I just click over to it. It gives me life. He's such an unlikable guy.
Yeah, the little fist pump too. That's not great. Yeah, I tell you what, we needed this win. I know you needed this win after you showed up at that game in Portland, and Josh Green proceeded to bust your ass specifically in the stands.
Oh no, but it was also fun because I think, and I'm pretty positive. I don't want to speak out of school, but I'm pretty sure I was sitting right behind whatever young woman Jaden Hardy is with these days because she was taking photos of him, and she was also by herself. And she was like really happy every time he did something. He had a fantastic game too, and I'm kind of a hater of him, so it was fun. It was fun. I mean, granted, like I'm pretty sure you and I might be able to play for the Portland Trailblazers at this point, but you take wins where you can get them.
Yeah, no, I just thought that was funny that you showed up at probably either his best or his second best game this season, but this one was really good just because, like a lot of people listening, we didn't have Lively. I thought that was kind of going to be it. Like we did have our 2 stars, but I was like, we'll be able to keep pace, but without Derek, I don't know how things are going to go in the paint. And it just turned out to not matter because Dwight had a really good game. Grant actually gave us I'm loath to admit it. He gave us good backup 5 minutes, especially defensively on Carl at certain points. He was useful. Dwight had a pretty clean game. He didn't turn the ball over.
But he didn't die. I go into those games expecting Dwight Powell to die against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he kind of kicked ass.
Yeah, no, he held serve in a way that I frankly wasn't expecting. And so, I got to give it up to him. The last week, really, he's been really, really good. Now, granted, trade deadline's coming up. That brother's trying to keep his job, so I'm on to you. You're not fooling me. But also, I respect the work that he's doing, so I very much appreciate it because we need it without Lively, and then he's going to be back hopefully in the next game or two, next couple games. So that'll be good, and then we'll hopefully hear more about Exum because it going from right heel contusion to something with his plantar fascia, I wasn't excited about that, but again, hopefully it's, mild or moderate and we'll get him back soon. And then we can get our actual best 5-man lineup back out there and actually see that get some minutes with Luka, Kyrie, Exum, Derek Jones Jr., who had a huge clutch dunk, by the way. And
clutch dunk. What a great phrase.
It's just like, because people were getting ready to yell at him because he missed a 3, a possession or 2 right before that because his shot just wasn't falling. And I get it, it's super frustrating when guys' shots aren't falling, but it was just nice and refreshing really to see a guy know that, be aware that his shot isn't falling and say, okay, I'm just going to catch the ball and I'm going to go to the rim, or I'm going to set a screen and I'm going to run as hard to the rim as I possibly can and hope I get the ball. And I was like, man, it would be nice if every now and then Tim or Josh would just do that when their 3-point shot isn't falling. Like, you know what? I'm going to put my head down and get to the rim.
Which doesn't – in years past, how many put your head down and get to the rim guys have the Mavericks had? Like Brunson, Luka.
Dinwiddie.
Yeah. Dinwiddie, good example.
That's about it. That's literally it.
Yeah. It's just nice. I really just still think there are, if not levels, because if you think this team tops out of the play-in team, I get the argument. But I think that they are capable of winning in different ways that we've yet to see because not everybody's healthy.
And well, in ways we have yet to see because we still haven't seen Luka and Kyrie fully locked in on, okay, we're gonna buddy ball this and we're gonna screen for each other. We're gonna run that over and over.
I don't know if we're ever, I don't know if we're ever going to see it because I don't know if that's for people who are kind of I don't know if they fit together. I think that's sort of why, but also I don't mind a little my turn, your turn over an 82 game season. It's too long. They wouldn't have won this game without Kyrie and that's fine because
definitely
Luka letting Kyrie cook, I think was a pretty, there's almost to the point where I'm like, Luka, find Kyrie. And you want that over the course of a long season.
And then both of them, because they're not, either one of them having to like force anything on the offensive end and having to really carry the load because they have each other, they're both able to make like pretty big, especially Kyrie, like huge defensive plays down the stretch that led to us winning the game. Like Luka, man, Luka was pretty damn good defending Carl in the paint, defending whoever that four was in the paint, where he was just so big and blocky and solid. Like you couldn't just run through him the way that you were able to do with Derrick Jones Jr. Or if you got like Josh Green on a switch or Tim on a switch or something like that, you couldn't do that. You couldn't bully him in the paint, and that was a big part of why their bigs weren't dominating us the way that I honestly kind of expected them to.
Right.
That and the fact that Carl is kind of a ninny and Rudy is a clutch.
I'm delighted. I'm delighted you're also using the word ninny. So I've been trying to use it more because I'm trying to think of a non-offensive, very insulting word, and ninny is it. It is it.
Yeah, it's one of those. I'm not the biggest fan of Bill Simmons these days, but when he called Kareem a ninny in his book, I was like, man, that's really cutting. I'm going to start using that.
You're not insulting his skill. You're insulting his demeanor. You're insulting his style because you acknowledge how good he is without calling him a name that's incredibly offensive, which I occasionally try to avoid. Like fucking ninny, perfect marriage of both insult and intensity. So anyway, well, what else you got for us? Anything else?
I'm just excited, man. Huge win against a really good team. One of the things that they said we weren't able to do, whether we were healthy or not even fully healthy, and we were able to do it. That's good. Hopefully bodes well for the second half of the season. Hopefully we get healthy, and then, we'll see where we go from there. Maybe we make a trade. Deadline's coming up. Grant Williams, maybe. Who knows?
You're the man.
But, yeah,
All right, man. We'll talk soon, all right?
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right, before I bring up Nicholas, who's next, I'm going to implore/beg anyone who's still hanging out in the show here, go down and hit the like on the stream. We got 72 likes and 300 people in the room. If I could get that up to both, that'd be really great for me. While you're there, if you could consider hitting the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. I will try to do these more as the season goes along. We just as an update on my personal life, you probably don't care about. We have the baby sleeping in the crib now, which is awesome. He still wakes up every 3 hours, but it's just a little different. Those of you with kids understand. All right, coming up next is Nicholas. Nicholas, welcome to the show. What's going on?
Hey, Kirk, how are you doing? My English is a bit rusty, but I'm going to do my best.
My English is also rusty because I'm drinking tequila.
Hope you're sleeping decently now that the kid is in the crib.
No. I am jacked up on caffeine at all times, but that's okay. I kind of was before. This is just really put an emphasis on it. Anyway.
And now you have a good game to get a bit.
So it was. I mean, this was a great game to stay up late for. I find myself, and I really try to do these after both horrible losses and great wins because I'm kind of really pumped both times, and this is one of them. So what do you got for us tonight?
I mean, I'm with you with the whole. This is a playing team. It's like this team is not imploding. The vibes are decent. They're playing well.
Yeah,
but they're what we thought they were. Like first round of the playoff, and maybe you win.
Do you want to play them in the playoffs? I guarantee you the Wolves don't. Guarantee it. Maybe the Clippers do. Clippers are probably the only team because of course they would want to play us.
I don't know if they want to see Luka anymore.
Other
than that, if they win a first round series, awesome. If they not, they're going to the playoffs.
Yeah. I want them in the playoffs.
The sky's falling argument.
Yeah. It's not a sky is falling. It's what it is. And this is just sort of the outcropping of what is considered rings culture in America, which is if you're not winning everything, then why are you playing? And some of that happens with a guy like Dirk Nowitzki, for example, who carried the team for such a long time before he won. It felt like the winning was almost pointless because he could not get over the hump.
I remember those days.
And like with Luka's 24. Giannis didn't win his first championship, I think, until he was 26, maybe 27. Jordan didn't win until he was older.
They rarely do before 27.
It's so hard, not just because of the player maturity, but because of the team maturity. And our fan base is desperate for Luka to be validated. He's desperate, and that comes from both like the Slovenia Luka only fans, which I appreciate y'all folks. I get it. You're your countrymen. And then Mavericks fans who have been a part of this for a long time. There's just this desperate need to win right now. And I don't know. I tend to care not about the national Mavericks, like the national conversation surrounding the Mavericks. I want to know what the people I like think about the Mavericks that follow the team night in and night out. And right now, they're good, but they're not great, but they're capable of being great.
Yeah.
And that is pretty awesome compared to last season, where I hated doing this as a hobby. Like I hated it. I mean, and you guys, so did everybody else apparently, because our views and listens were garbage. And so it's so much more fun when they're winning more of their games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I remember the mid-2000s Mavs that didn't win shit, but they were fun to watch, and they were competitive in the playoffs. So
yeah. And that's
if
all
you
you can
win
ask
a
for.
championship, awesome. We won one in 2011, but in the meantime, be competitive.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely right.
Yeah. I mean, that's it for me.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us, Nicholas. Hope you come back.
I hope I do.
All right, talk soon. All right, coming up next is David. David, welcome to the show. What's going on? Oh, no, I brought up Micah. Let's go Micah first. I clicked the wrong button. Micah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Kirk. That was a great win.
It was. It's nice. I have a horrible feeling about work tomorrow now that the Mavericks won, because my baby's not going to sleep at all. Like, there's no all good things at once. That just isn't how life works. So, but for now, I'm going to enjoy this Mavericks win.
I mean, all great things in sports was good today.
Cowboys won too. It's right.
Yeah, Cowboys won. The Eagles showed once again that they stink, like I've been saying. What else? Oh yeah, the Phoenix Suns are continuing to show that they stink, and yeah. I
need the Lakers to lose though. They're currently beating the Clippers. I need that for my life. I need it.
That's okay. That tops it off. I don't know. For standing purposes, maybe they need a win. I don't know.
So what are you thinking?
But, I just thought that was a great game, and yeah, what you're saying in the show is like games like this. That is why you go get a Kyrie Irving.
He was so good, man.
He was so amazing, and he's been so great on the other side of the ball as well. For a 6'2" guy to be that impactful defensively these last several games, it's been fun to watch. Right.
It's him locked in just brings, and I wrote about this, and I want to say this out loud. There's an expectation, I think, amongst like some of my more casual friends that are only watching maybe every 2 out of 3 games, that sort of stuff, that Kyrie has to be great every night. And his numbers are always pretty good. But I think like this sort of just absolute explosion stuff is not fair. He's in his 13th year and his feet hurt, and he's still able to do stuff like that. And what that tells me is that he's obviously still capable of greatness. And there's the argument has been made. Didn't he hurt his foot against Brooklyn, or when he was playing against the Bucks when he was playing Brooklyn years ago? Before, like it was kind of what put an end to their playoff run with Harden.
Oh no! That was a leg injury. It was bad.
Okay, but it was bad. So it's like he hasn't had a lot of opportunities to shine over the last several years, and I really want to see him in these playoff moments. I just do. There's a lot of criticism against him, but I think if he's not expected to be the number one dude and he gets to come in and be the hammer that shocks the shit out of teams, because the Wolves were not ready to defend him tonight.
No, and that's fine, Kirk. Like, people don't understand. It's okay to be a second option.
Yep.
It's okay to be a 6-man. Even in Grant Williams' case, it's fine if your best role is being the 8th man in the rotation.
Water boy. Maybe for Grant. Sorry, that's too mean.
Okay. Oh man, it got cold on playback earlier because we were having to say we had to put up a poll who's been more impactful this season, Grant Williams or Dwight Powell.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. What else you got for us? Anything?
No, just great win, great sports day. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right, I'm
good team.
really glad you joined us.
I call them a good team, but I'll leave off with this. I do not trust them dudes in the playoffs.
Which team?
Minnesota.
Sure.
Minnesota is vastly talented. They're a low IQ basketball team, and until that gets changed, they're not going to be.
There's this old quote, and I'm pretty sure I can't remember who said it. It might be, but it's this quote that I read. It was I think it was C.S. Lewis, and it's experience, that most brutal of teachers, but when you learn, my God, do you learn? And for someone like Anthony Edwards, when that guy gets playoff experience and he's terrifying. There are a few players who like scare me more on a game-to-game basis than Anthony Edwards, because he's just a force of nature.
Yeah, he's going to be one of those up-and-coming guys, and you look. I'll leave off with this. We're starting to witness the change of the old guard, right?
Good take.
If you like, Katie looks like he's regressed. Steph looks like he's regressed. LeBron is obviously regressed.
I don't know if Steph's regressed. That team's regressed.
The team is definitely regressed. Come on. He had single digit numbers.
I hear what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah, he's regressed.
All right. We'll talk soon then, all right?
All right. Have a good one, Kirk.
All right, appreciate it. All right, so we got 3 people waiting below. We got David, we have team captain Kyrie, and we had another man join briefly who I saw come. Hope he comes back, because I don't know if anybody realizes this, just because it's probably the biggest show we've had in a while. But I bring everybody up when we do these, because I want you to feel like you can talk basketball, because I have a platform, so it's not like I did anything to deserve it. I just kind of showed up every night. So David, what's going on, my guy?
Hey, Kirk. Good to see you, man. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. I realized I'd missed like 3 shows in a row. Josh is like, "Do you need a night off?" I'm like, "No, dude. I need to do my fucking job."
Welcome back. Yeah, man. My voice is gone, so I was there tonight.
You get to go to the greatest games. I swear.
I was at the Knicks game last year, man. I've been
holy cow.
I'm not gonna lie. I took a friend for his birthday who used to work for the Mavs, so we ran into Nick over at Locked On our way in, and so it's been a night. And then last Friday, were you at the Portland game? Is that what
I was at the second Portland game where Luka was sitting and got to watch Kyrie score those easy 12 points, and I was sitting at that end of the floor, and it was very fun. Like, my son is small and doesn't he listens, but he's like, trying to teach him basketball stuff, and like, it's fun like being able to be like, watch that guy's feet, watch what he does, and the sort of stuff right up close. I scored great seats and just had a great time watching that game.
So you were probably even at a better angle. There was a pass I didn't get to see. Like, I don't know if Sports Center's even a thing anymore. I don't watch ESPN.
I know, right? Yeah.
Kyrie like teleported a pass to the corner. I forget who it was, maybe Hardy, late in the game, or maybe third quarter, because like by the fourth quarter it was a blowout. But he did this. He stumbled, and it looked like he was just going to fall over, like clumsy with the ball. And he I don't know. He did a matrix move, and then the next thing you know, the ball was shooting into the corner, and then Hardy hit it, canned another triple on Friday. So that was I'm happy to see what he did tonight. Like, his ability. God, it was good. I did want to say, last Friday I got a fan experience treat. I got to go to the presser afterwards, which didn't really I would have rather been there tonight, because that would have been insane. Right. But they wouldn't let me ask a question for you. I just want to know what's in Jason Kidd's pockets. So I was going to ask that in honor of the show.
My wife got me that gray team half zip, or the quarter zip that they wear on the sideline sometimes. That's the Texas logo. Yeah. It's a great shirt, and I wore it to the game just kind of as a joke to see if they would wear it. And someone was, I think it was my friend Tyler, was like, "You have to get a picture of yourself with your hands in your pockets." And I forgot, but it's just, I don't know. The pockets thing is so funny. The kid criticism though has to be tampered way down, because I think tonight he coached a great game. I think he threw a wrench in the flow, because when the Minnesota called their use it or lose it timeout, and then Kidd came right back with another timeout, and then there was the TV timeout, it was like a brand new ball game.
Yeah, they were just taking the lead. I felt like the game was about to slip, and those series of timeouts were brilliant. And I didn't realize he took out Luka and Kai for that one defensive possession. Like, it all happened so fast in person that I didn't realize. Like, all of a sudden I saw after the next timeout that Luka was getting subbed back in. I was like, smart. Like, I
loved it. A lot of rest there in that, and it's kind of hard. It's the sort of stuff that would happen. Like, you don't really quantify it because it's like game minutes out of the game, but not really minutes within the game. It was something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and his and his staff's coaching tonight was deft and alert, and that's what I appreciated.
Good.
Like,
that's a good phraseology of it. I like that.
He used it well, but I just want to say that it was amazing to be there in person tonight. Just for everybody on here, we sat with the most amped up. Two rows directly in front of us was the most amped up guy from Minnesota. He wore like some sort of Minnesota t-shirt, Minnesota ball cap. Every single possession that resulted in a bucket, this guy shot up out of his seat like a bottle rocket.
That's fun.
And it like blocked our view because he was a big boy. And so it was great to watch him sulk at the end after everyone that was like 3 rows back and along our row was just like cooing at him at the end, like just like, oh,
sure.
Ooh.
Love it.
So great, definitely win of the year, and I was happy they went back to Derrick Jones Jr. on that clutch dunk, as the other guy put well put. But like he was kicking himself. You could see it after he missed that 3, and so I was glad that Luka trusted him, and I wanted to see the aggression because I knew Cat wouldn't do anything, and I was pretty sure Rudy wouldn't. And seriously, Rudy did the Olay thing, and Cat wouldn't even sneeze on him on the way to the rim. So
go review the game log on ESPN or NBA.com. Their last 5 minutes of offense was garbo.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All 3-pointers. They after Ant made an 18-footer to give it the 106-100 lead, they only shot 3s, I think. It was terrible.
3s or turnovers. There was also the botch. The Rudy Gobert got lost like running to the basket and then realized who he was and forgot that he can't do that. And meanwhile, then DJJ, I think got Cat. I think it was Cat in a bad position. It was either him or like McDaniels was going up for they tried to do the alley-oop inbounds on us. Remember, They tried to catch us with the backdoor cut, and just heads up. So I was just great. This is the best team win of the year easily to me, and also kind of shows up. I was saying that going into this, that if they can make it the rest of the year with a target on their back over in Minneapolis, then they deserve to be considered like title contenders and favorites, but I don't think they got it. I think Denver's going to catch them, become the number 1 team again before the end of the year, and they're going to flame out in the second round. I think they're the Memphis of this year.
Spicy take. I love it. David, thank you so much. All right, talk soon. I see the chat is crushing Karl Anthony Towns, which I think is fair. But I just want everybody to know that if Karl Anthony Towns could become a Maverick, we can fix him. That's sort of how I think. All right. Coming up last is team captain Kyrie. You've not joined the show before. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, what's going on, my guy? Can you hear me okay?
I can. Actually, you sound probably the best out of everybody so far. So good headset.
Yeah, gaming headset. You know what I mean? But no, if anyone needs like a fill-in, if you want somebody to fill in, definitely hit me up. I'll be happy. It looks like I am lagging on this end. Does it appear to me to be lagging on your end?
The audio is great. The audio is coming through fine, and that's probably the most important part for me. So what are we thinking?
Okay, so one, I've been a Kyrie fan pretty much since McDonald's All-American. I've followed him every stop from Cleveland to Boston to Brooklyn, so I pretty much know the whole skit there. So anything there, feel free to ask about it. But I was a staunch and still am get Jason Kidd the heck up out of here. However, when I saw Derrick Jones Jr. was 1 for 6, you once they called the timeout, he was visibly hanging his head. His confidence was low. And then they called the play, or after the timeout, pick and roll, got him to the short roll at the key and got him that big dunk, and he shot it back up. So at that point, okay, I saw that you were in. You made a conscious decision. I loved it. That's absolutely what I love. And as far as the fourth quarter, I mean, we all know Kai's the king of the fourth. I know De'Aaron Fox got it, clutch player of the year. That should have went to Kai. He led the league in the fourth quarter scoring and was handily missing games. So that should have been him all the time. I do want your take on this, though. A lot of people are vying for Siakam. I'm not. I want someone else. I don't think we can get him. But if my perfect starting lineup would be Luka, Kyrie, Omax, Lauri Markkinen, Derek Lively. Because at that point we have 3 offensive stars, Luka, Kai, Lauri, and then 2 defensive stoppers and Omax as well as Lively. I know we're probably not going to get Lauri, but that's would be a dream lineup.
Sure, but if we're just like talking sort of theoretical fun, what would we do if we had the ability? Like I think what Siakam wants is probably the most interesting thing to me, because I'd be very curious to know what he wants out of his career. Does he want to win or does he want numbers? And if he wants to win, sure, because he's a fascinating player, does a lot of things very well. Gives me that sort of, I've been a Mavericks fan for a really long time, that a player back in the mid 2000s that paired so well with Dirk, Josh Howard. He does a lot of things real well, but not a super duper star. So I think in terms of like the mechanics, I think it'd be very difficult to pull off. But in terms of just like fun team building stuff, I tend to like having a power forward stretch big man shooter like you're talking about, and Markkinen, who is just an absolute killer. I like the concept of having 3 guys that could go off at any given game. Exactly. I mean, that's what was so nice about Kyrie tonight, where it's just like Luka should be allowed to have a night where he shoots crappily and the Mavericks not die.
Absolutely.
And you know, he played really well in December, Kyrie out, but you can't do that for 80 games. And it's just so nice to be able to say, all right. And Luka, I think, realized as the game went on, where it's like Kyrie really has it going, because there are some times where it's like that little 6 to 8, 10-foot range shot for Kyrie just isn't falling. So that happens. It's a tough shot. And tonight he buried a couple coming across the middle over Gobert, where it's like, all right, you're hitting over the defensive player of the year, feed the man. And that sort of element of having this kind of offense with guys that are able to create for themselves. If you added the marketing into it, that'd be pretty fascinating. Unfortunately, I think Danny Ainge is going to be horrendous about parting with him.
Jazz and OKC fleece people. If you do a deal with the Jazz or OKC, you absolutely know you're going 3, 4, 5 picks easy, and they're going to fleece you. Like it's just kind of it's just the territory that comes with. I see the chat right now saying Siakam over Lauri. Siakam is nice, but I'm telling you, 2 7-footers, the rebounder with Lauri and Lively in the paint. Omax is hands down the best ISO point of attack defender that we have on the team. I know his jump shot isn't developed, but what was it, last game versus the Blazers? He gave you what, 8, 5, and 3? I mean, that's Grant Williams' entire game in about 12 minutes.
Sure.
So, I mean, you get that paired with Lauri, like, okay. And one more thing. The Utah Jazz loss, Cleveland, Memphis without Ja. You take away some of those unnecessary losses, we're top 3 in the West right now. Easy.
Which this Mavericks team, Luka in particular, this is the best they've been about not playing down to opponents. Luka has a real tendency to kind of turn in turds whenever and so that's been really important this year. I did want to ask you though, as a longtime Kyrie fan, did you watch the Mavericks broadcast or did you watch the other team's broadcast tonight?
No, I always watch ours.
Okay, so did you catch that pretty cool Kyrie stat at the end of the fourth quarter on the rebounding?
Last 4 or 5 games, he's been averaging like 8 or 9.
In the last this 3-game stretch, he's grabbed 26 total rebounds, 9, 9, and 8. It's the most rebounds he's grabbed in a 3-game stretch in his entire career. Which
I love it.
Pretty cool.
I love it.
For a man. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't even remember how many games Kyrie's played offhand, but like that's pretty wild for a guy that's played. Let me just see total games played.
Yeah, go for it.
Irving B-ball ref. No, not basketball shoes. You can always tell what things I've been Googling based off of my based off
the autofill. Yeah.
All right, nearly 700 games in his career. And that's pretty amazing at age 31 to grab that many boards.
I'm not sure if he made a conscious effort just to rebound more because he understands and is tired of getting beat up on the boards, or the fact that he averaged more rebounds than Dwight Powell last year and is still doing so right now. You just got to have the dog in you. Like, I don't understand. I can tell Dwight Powell's smart. He knows the plays. He knows where the screen. And I can tell he takes care of his body. He stays in tremendous. I swear to God, I'm going to help him pack. I'm going to help him pack if he continues to swipe out that ball. Like, it's just absolutely annoying. I don't understand why he does it. Like, it's another 2 more things here, and I'll head out and give it to someone else. I don't know why Omax and Greg Brown didn't see the floor this game with Ant going off the way that he did. I felt like Omax could have got some minutes, and then Greg Brown. I don't know if Holmes is still out due to personal reasons. He might have been, but Greg Brown having 3 blocks versus Portland last game, and as athletic as he is, is another Derrick Jones Jr. I feel like both of those should have got minutes tonight.
That's got to be a coach trust issue. I can't help but think with how much time Omax has gotten with the G League affiliate, it's a not dissimilar path to Jaden Hardy last year, where by the fourth quarter of the season, the last 20 games, that's where I'm really going to be looking for Omax. I don't know if that will ever earn him consistent minutes as a rookie. I just think it might be too hard. Kid is like, when Omax takes a bad shot or a shot that looks like he can't, like he has no eyes. Like he took one against Portland at the game I was at. He was in front of the rim. So it's like shooting, like not on the sides or anything too far, straight on shot that missed left by a foot. And that kid was just like so disgusted. And so
that's what you're disgusted at?
I know. But I think that's the sort of like veteran coach thing that just drives them crazy. I don't agree with it, but I at least understand it from a like, because Carlisle was the same way, and it's the sort of the nature of it. But I do
love to see Carlisle with this team right now. With Kyrie and Luka, I would love to see the offensive scheme that Carlisle would come up with. That would
sure, look what he's doing up in Indiana, the team that's scoring 9,000 points a game. My God.
Absolutely. Where do you think we finish, and what do you think our ceiling is heading into the playoffs? I feel like this stretch here after this 7-game homestand, these next month or so until about February the 10th, I think is probably going to define the season. So where do you see us ending?
So I think if they can actually get moderately healthy and get a string of games together, I think the ceiling is honestly like the 4 seed. That's probably crazy to some people, but I see it. And you look at how crowded the Western Conference standings are right now.
Right.
I mean, there's 3 games between the Mavericks, or I guess 4 games between the Mavericks and the Wolves right now, 6-1. So there's just, 1 win streak, 1 losing streak is going to put you out. I think a realistic place for me would probably be where they are right now.
Okay.
But I don't know. I change my feelings from game to game because there's some games where their size hurts them so badly.
Absolutely.
And tonight just wasn't one of those games. I mean, you play the Wolves. I think like they haven't played Boston at all. That's going to be a fascinating game.
Yeah, I am ready to see that. For some odd reason, Kai tends to tone it down a notch, going against former teammates as if he's still trying to keep it buddy and not offend them. Even though he did show up a tad versus Brooklyn, I do want to see him show up against Boston because he has a tendency sometimes, especially in Boston, to kind of take a back seat, and that's annoying. I do hate, however, when Luka doesn't have it going and J Kidd continues to force feed him as if we don't have Kai on the team.
Some of me thinks that's more Luka. I don't really know how much.
Like what was it? What was that turnaround like fade? I feel like he didn't need to take that. He probably could have kicked it out to Kai once he had it going into the third, starting the fourth. Like I just feel like they need to run it through Kai a few more, but it's working out so far. I love it. But in the playoffs, we all see Phoenix fraud. I'm not worried about them. Clippers are turning it up right now, but Luka has free real estate over in LA, so I'm not really worried about them.
They scare me. They're the only team that really scares me because even though Luka's played them really well, the bottom line is they've won the damn series. And so it just, I don't know. That one's tough. But Denver also sucks because Denver's so big in the 3, 4, 5 positions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's
for some odd reason. What was it? I think Jokic won today with like 4.16 rebounds. So they're not peaking
so weird
yet.
Yeah.
I hope that they don't, but there's truly no team that I'm afraid of. Maybe Minnesota, but they're still young and make dumb mistakes, mental errors. But there's really no team in the West that I'm per se afraid of. Because when the games get tight, I'm not going to curse because you got sponsors. But
no, you can curse. I curse a lot.
When asses get tight and in every single possession matters, I feel like we have the 2 best people in the West in the NBA, bar none. You ask me who I want taking my last shot, and I got a bullet to my head. I'm choosing either Luka or Kai. And I feel like we can go into it with absolutely anybody. But I do hope that we get, somebody. I don't think we're going to make a big splash until next season when we actually have more contracts and more space. But
draft picks to use. That's kind of my hope too. Hey, well, thank you for joining. I really hope you come back.
Absolutely, I'll be around more often, man. See you.
Talk soon. Have a good night. All right, so that's everybody. That was fun. More fun than it ought to be, but it's always more fun than I think it's going to be, just because I've live in perpetual fear that no one will ever join the show. We're gonna go. We'll be back later in the week. This has been Kirk Henderson of Pod Maverick and Mavs Moneyball. Remember, if you can leave a review, leave a comment, do any of that stuff. I just appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This was a lot of fun. Everybody be good. I hope you have a great week, and go Mavs.